From shucking oysters to talking food with the founders. From quick snacks to the big contracts.
Hi, everyone. My name's Heidi Knoblauch, and I'm the host of Founders Fridge. Founders Fridge is a podcast where we talk to founders about what they eat when they're building their companies. On today's episode, we have Hailee Greene. Hailee is the Chief Everything Officer from GreeneAcres Processing and Pomace Plus. Hailee's coming to us from upstate New York all the way up in the Adirondacks. We talk about milk, deli meats, apple trees. Can't wait to hear what's in Hailee's fridge.
Yeah, success got the drive and the hunger. But what's on your dinner plate? What keeps you going longer?
Hello, Hailee. Welcome to the Founders Fridge.
Hey, Heidi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you on the show. So tell me a little bit about what you're building.
I'm actually doing a bunch of things. I have two companies right now, one of which is kind of taking more of my attention than the other. So I'm the founder and chief everything officer of GreeneAcres Processing, which will hopefully be the first full-scale industrial hemp processing company in the state of New York. And I'm also working with a lab from Cornell on a spinout. We're calling it Pomace Plus. And the Taco Lab has innovative research on grape pumice, which is the waste after you make juice or wine, and how it can basically be a replacement for antibiotics in chickens. And it's also a superfood for humans.
Cool. So what's your connection to Cornell?
I graduated with my MBA in 24.
Nice. Are you from Ithaca, or where are we talking to you from right now?
I'm in Boonville, New York right now. And where I'm from is Rockland County, which is downstate. Yeah, sorry.
Rockland County to Boonville.
Rockland County to Boonville, yeah.
So how did that happen?
My parents were really big snowmobilers when I was a kid. And Boonville is the snow capital of the Northeast. So we bought a 265-acre farm about 25 years ago. And when COVID hit, my girlfriend and I looked at each other and we were like, let's get out of the city and go quarantine on the farm. And here we are, 5 years later, still on the farm in Boonville.
So what's on the farm for our listeners? I know there's a donkey, but I don't know about everything else.
There are 3 donkeys. We got Sassy Ass, Assalot, and Total Ass. And they are so great. And they've really been enjoying corn season. And I think they're going to be devastated when they don't get corn on the cob husks like every other day. We also have horses and Irish wolfhounds. And I think you saw my Dalmatian get onto the bed. And then, of course, with 265 acres, we have crops. So it's just a traditional rotational farm at this point. We have hay, corn, soy. But what I found out when we moved here in 2020, the farm used to be like 100 plus years ago, an apple orchard. And we have 100-year-old apple trees out back that are just magnificent. And you've never seen trees like this before. And you've never seen apples like this before either, because they do not look like what you get in the supermarket.
I feel like we could have a whole episode on me asking what's in the donkey's fridge, but we'll stick to you for this episode.
So they're a bunch of fat asses, so we really minimize what's in their fridge. And right now they're on what's called like a dry field, because if they have too much grass, it's not good for them.
All right. Do you have anything on the farm that you would eventually, besides the crops, that you would eventually eat? Like any like animals that you're raising?
No, we don't do that. I prefer to have other people take care of the chickens or the eggs, and I just buy from local farmers.
There you go. Okay, so when did you know you were an entrepreneur?
I think I was like born one, honestly. So both of my parents were small business owners, and it was just like, you know, ingrained in me from a little kid. I was either working at my dad's deli or working at my mom's horse farm and always doing things. And then before I went back to school for my MBA, I worked in politics, which I like to say every campaign is basically a startup, except you know your exit date, and either you have a super successful IPO or you go home crying. I mostly had successful IPOs in my political days, so I'm hoping that stays with me in my actual startups.
So with your family, like what was your rituals around eating? What did you eat with your family?
So my dad owned a deli. We ate a lot of deli food. My mom cannot cook. When I was little, she literally couldn't boil pasta. So she loves having me on the farm because she has like a gourmet chef in house. Um, and now that I'm older and cook for myself, but also really enjoy eating out, I realized my dad wasn't really that good of a cook either, but can't tell him that. I do really miss though, he made the best RB combos like ever, and no deli has been able to get me a roast beef sandwich like my dad used to make. So I do miss that. I don't know that we really had rituals, to be honest, though. Like we would just go to the deli, get what we wanted, or if like lasagna was made that day, my dad would bring home fresh lasagna for us. We never did like Shabbat dinners or anything like that.
Do you still eat that kind of food? Like, is that still your go-to?
Absolutely not. And if you could not pay me to eat chicken marsala. Like no amount of money will get me to eat a chicken marsala or a oh my god, what's it called when it's in the like lemon butter? Um
Oh, I don't know. I should know.
there's Yeah, I know there's like another staple, and those two things he just made them so much that I no cannot do it.
Just can't do it.
Can't do it.
So so when you were in politics, like what were you eating then? Like what was your routine for those kind of crazy days?
So in politics, we like to talk about the round diet, where everything we eat is round. So there's a lot of donuts, a lot of burgers, a lot of pizzas. Um, definitely partake in that. It's not healthy. Do not recommend. But like, especially when you're doing 90-hour plus weeks, like you just eat literally whatever is brought into the office, or whatever's closest. So, and a lot of lattes and espresso. uh, yeah.
So basically coffee and anything round is what you were eating during your
Yes.
politic days.
Yes.
Do you
Bagels.
also like bagels? Lots of bagels. Do you have like a favorite bagel place? Like was there like a consistent bagel place or was it just no, just like everyone's bringing bagels?
Oh no. So when I lived in the city, Murray's, that was it. Love Murray's. Zabar's every once in a while, but definitely a bagel snob. I mean, I grew up in Rockland and I lived in Manhattan for years. So like I know a good bagel when I see one.
And are you toasted or untoasted?
Definitely depends.
Okay.
Like if
On
it's
what?
fresh, if it's super fresh, untoasted. That's like criminal to toast a super fresh bagel. Yeah.
So, what do you eat now? Like while you're building your startups?
Definitely try and eat a lot healthier. I start my day with a caffeinated protein milk. I like Split. Um, it's like 20 grams of protein, and they have uh, 40 grams of caffeine, and then they have an ultra one, which is like 140 grams of protein. Unless you really, I mean, caffeine, 140 grams of caffeine, unless you like really need caffeine, I don't recommend that one. Can give you the jitters. But I start with that because I don't like to eat early. And you have to be fueled up. Otherwise your brain doesn't work. Right. So start my day with that caffeinated protein milk. Lunch totally varies. I really like the European style grazing plates. So I'll do that a lot of veggies, some prosciutto, some cheese, melon. That's what I have today actually. And it was delicious. And then I really try and make sure dinner, I'm consistently going through different proteins. So, red meat once or twice a week, chicken, fish once or twice a week, things like that. I really like to keep things like super clean and healthy. Spend way too much money at Wegmans.
Well, I was just going to ask you. So, like, is there anything that you can get in Boonville that you can't get anywhere else? Kind of like those Murray's bagels. Like, is there anything that's specific to Boonville that you're like, man, I cannot live without this? Or is it just Wegmans trips? And also, where is this Wegmans when you're in Boonville?
Syracuse.
Wow.
I
How
drive
far?
to Syracuse to go food shopping. It's an hour and a half. Um, it's convenient because I can, when I'm in between Ithaca and the farm, it's like right on the drive. If I'm not going to Ithaca, I'll still drive 45 minutes to go food shopping in Rome, where there's a Market 32 or a Hannaford's. We do have a food store in Boonville, which is great because a lot of North Country towns do not have food stores. So if I'm in a pickle and I need like, chicken thighs or something, I can quickly run to the local supermarket. But the produce quality is not great and or the fruit. So it's really hard to get good produce and fruit locally. A local staple? No, I don't think so. Honestly, I mean, the local staples are all fried. Um, so
No, nothing.
yeah, no, you can get good fried food anywhere.
Hmm. Hmm. So like your holidays and birthdays, like personal celebrations, what are you doing? Like, are you going out to eat or are you cooking at home? What does that look like?
Definitely a mix. I really miss like when I was younger, we did full family holidays all the time. And it was when like my grandparents were still with us and all of us cousins were, local or in college, but still came home for the holidays and really miss that. Especially since COVID, we haven't really been able to get somewhere centric for holidays. Birthdays, I feel like we go out mostly just because it's easier and then we don't have to clean up. But so I grew up in a mixed household, Jewish and Catholic, and I love both holidays, but I inherited all the family recipes from my Catholic grandma, and I love cooking Christmas dinner. It is like I look forward to it all year.
That's awesome. So do you fit food around your day or do you fit your day around what you eat?
I think I know what that question is, and I'm going to say I live to eat. I don't eat to live is my
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I know that eating the right things is important and keeps me going, but I want to eat things that I love and think are good. And also I'm not gonna like I don't have dessert every night of the week, but like I'm not gonna have dessert.
That's good. So when things are going really well with the company, what do you eat? And when things are going super not well, what do you eat?
um Okay, so I think it's more like schedule basis than how things are like going work wise or not. So, live on the farm. I outside of my day jobs, I also have multiple horses in a full-time program. Or like if my barn help doesn't show up and I then am doing stalls, um, my day can just be crazy, right? And so I have learned that like if I can get into the house, I need to eat dinner like at a normal time versus sometimes I'm out working in the barn straight till 10 p.m. and like to come in and eat then. First of all, I'm not cooking. I'm making instant oatmeal or cereal, which at 10 p.m. not great for you. But like what else are you going to do after working all day, right? Like I'm not cooking a gourmet meal. Um And so I find that what I eat is really very schedule dependent. And I have tried to get a little bit better at like, if I have 15 minutes between calls, it's not really enough to like do anything super productive, but it's plenty of time to go downstairs and like chop an onion and get it ready to like go into whatever I'm making that night or like things like that. So I'll kind of like prep dinner throughout the day and make cooking dinner quicker and easier. Yeah.
That's super smart. I stop eating at 7 because I do fasting overnight. So I stop eating at 7 and then I don't have anything until I think it's like 9 or 10 the next day.
Yeah.
But this is a terrible move for me in one sense, which is that my wife cooks amazing gourmet meals like every night, but she's also an attorney who doesn't get home until 8 p.m. And
Yep.
so oftentimes, like the first thing I will eat in the morning are these amazing leftovers from this food that she has made that is too late for me to eat.
She can come and make me the late meals while I'm out in the barn working. But I feel like, my fasting is more like in the morning. Like I wake up and I don't want to eat. So sometimes I'm not eating until on the early side 11, on the late side 1 p.m.
Yep. So what's in your fridge right now?
What's in my fridge right now? I always have a pretty full cheese drawer, which drives my mom crazy. She doesn't understand why we have to have dairy with everything. But there's nothing better than a good cheese plate, especially if you add some fruit and prosciutto. I just stopped at my friend's creamery last night and picked up some Greek yogurt from him and chocolate milk. And he makes the best chocolate milk. Got to give him a shout out. Black River Valley Natural in Lyons Falls, also in the North Country. So always have yogurt. We do love the chocolate milk. What else do I have in the fridge right now? I know I have Bronzino in the freezer, which is going to come out either tonight or tomorrow. And I always have the freezer pretty well stocked of various meats and fishes. Always have shrimp on hand or scallops on hand. Things that are like quick and easy for those times that I still need to eat something nice, but don't have time to like, cook steak.
I also feel like there's no like Instacarting in Boonville.
So I would have agreed with that statement until Nick Nikitas proved me wrong. So, yes, Rosie, which was acquired by Instacart, did get Instacart here. And I apparently can order stuff not only from the local supermarket, but all the way from Utica or Rome. Haven't done it and do not want to know what the delivery charge would be. I basically do like one really big good shop at least once a week, every 10 days at minimum, and really plan out like what I'm going to cook and when, and it doesn't always go to plan, but I try. But all right, I always have a ton of drinks in the fridge too, like sparkling waters, regular water, teas. I love this unsweetened jasmine green tea that Wegmans makes. Highly recommend if you like tea. Anyway, what's in my fridge. What's in yours?
So the other day, I knew I was going to have to do like an emergency load of laundry. So I went on like Walmart delivery and I ordered Tide Pods and Dryel to come to my house. And then when I got it at 7 a.m, I went outside and there was also this like 2 bags of groceries, but they were nothing that I would eat. So I'm a milk snob, like a serious milk snob. I mean, we live in New York State. You got to be a milk snob if you live in New York State.
Absolutely.
So it was like the store brand Walmart milk and these yogurts that had 20 grams of protein artificially in them and tropical fruit juice. And so it was literally nothing that I could eat. So it's like just hogging my fridge right now,
Well,
unfortunately.
all right. I hope you will drink the milk because even though it is Walmart brand, it's actually New York State cows. And I know the farm it comes from. And it's good people, good cows, and just give it a try.
Wow. Okay. I have not given it a try. I went
Yeah.
for my straight, organic milk that lasts like 2 months in the fridge. Whereas, I look at the Walmart milk, I'm like, how am I going to consume this gallon of milk before this expiration date? Like, I just don't know how people would do that. And I actually drink glasses of milk. Like, I'm like a
Really?
child. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know. I I was with my in-laws and I was just like, it was like nighttime, so I was drinking a glass of milk and my sister-in-law looked at me and she was like, "Is that a glass of milk?" I was
Like
like,
cold
"Yeah."
milk at night, you don't like warm it up and put cinnamon in it?
No, just
No,
I
it's
drink
cold.
cold milk with a cookie.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. And it's
All right.
always like
Well,
a Tate's cookie or like one
oh,
of those like sugar cookies, And
yeah.
or I will say sometimes my wife makes me cookies as well. So it's really like a running theme in this podcast is like how lucky I am to have my wife who makes me everything. Because I think you know this, but I owned a restaurant for 7 years. And so I got totally burnt out from cooking during the restaurant or just like any production of food. Like I associate it so closely with business. And so it's awful. I mean, even the other day, it was my mom's 75th birthday.
Oh, happy
So
birthday,
everyone was like,
Mom.
oh, it was great. It was last night. It was amazing. And so everyone was saying, what should everybody bring? And I was like, oh, I'll bring a grain salad. And everyone was like, oh, how about you bring that grain salad that Kelly makes and that we love? And I was like, I can do this. I can totally do this, right? So, it's a New York Times recipe. I can follow a recipe. So I'm at home and following this recipe, like, step by step. I'm cooking down this farro, I'm getting everything ready. And I'm on the phone with my wife and I was like, hey, listen, I have to go early. So what I've done is I've shaved the Parmesan cheese for you. I've, cut up the pistachios. I've cooked the farro. I have the lemon juice and the oil all here, whatever. And she gets home and she's like, you literally did a third of what you needed to do for this recipe. like an actual third. And so she had to cook it all and bring it to my mom's.
I would say A for effort, but it sounds more like it was a C for effort.
Yeah, it was about a C for effort. It was a C for effort. But then obviously
That's
when
rough.
we got to dinner, everyone was like, "Oh, Heidi, you made the salad. It's so good."
Oh man. Well, okay. Next time I see you in real life, I'm gonna bring some of my friend's milk for you because it is amazing. It's cream line. It's not technically organic, but a lot of it's A2, and I think you'll love it. And it does go really well with a cookie. Um, and I also understand how nice it is to have a significant other that just can do everything. My problem is Lily is a baker more than a cooker. She does cook and she's a great cook, but we've had to like put down some rules on the baking and like you're not allowed to do certain things so often and like I we both love a good croissant. She's not allowed to try making them because I know they'll be amazing and game over. Like cinnamon rolls twice a year max.
I
Otherwise it
love
just
that.
gets dangerous.
So what are you doing for dinner tonight?
I'm not sure what I'm doing for dinner yet tonight, but yesterday was like National Burger Day or National Cheeseburger Day. And I actually didn't know that until I like saw it on Instagram, but I had already had plans to make burgers and I made 12 out of 10 burgers last night. Um I did a bacon blueberry shallot jam with grilled halloumi and a patty that I put some like secret sauces and stuff into. And it was just unreal.
Awesome. All right.
Still
So tell our
thinking,
listeners.
obviously, I'm still thinking about the burger.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. So tell our listeners where they can find you and find more about what you're doing.
Probably on LinkedIn, which I've been a little bit about posting recently, but always happy to chat about food and recipes and ideas, and business, of course, especially if you're in upstate New York and starting a company.
Awesome. Well, it was so amazing to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Of course, this was so fun. And if you want to talk about what the horses eat next, we can do that.
I love that. Round 2.
Yeah, success got the drive and the hunger. But what's on your dinner plate? What keeps you going longer? From shucking oysters to talking food with the founders. From quick snacks to the big contracts. The Founders Fridge, Founders Fridge.